What's going on, everyone? This is Steve Larson, and you're listening to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Oh, yeah. So here's the real mystery. How do real MLMers like us, who didn't cheat and only bug family members and friends, who want to grow a profitable home business, how do we recruit A players into our downlines and create extra incomes, yet still have plenty of time for the rest of our lives? That's the blaring question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name is Steve Larson, and welcome to Secret MLM Hacks Radio. Hey guys, hope you're doing fantastic. It has been busy over here. I've been doing a ton of stuff on the workbook that I've been putting together. This podcast right now, as it stands, is all about, I've kind of just been documenting the journey of me creating basically the course that teaches people how I automate my downline recruiting. Now, my system personally is already up. I'm already doing it. Obviously, I continue to make tweaks and changes. It's always getting better and better. But my background is in tech a little bit. I'm not necessarily a coder. However, I do a lot of tech stuff. And so what I've been doing for the last little bit is systematizing far more thoroughly the way that I actually auto-recruit people into my downline. I don't care which one you're in. My whole goal with this podcast and with the course actually is to show people how I auto-recruit, because I believe that MLM is broken out of the box. I believe that it doesn't work very well. It can work. It takes forever too. Oh my gosh. So my background is in internet marketing. So I'm just applying the same principles and I'm pushing it over into the MLM space, and it's been a lot of fun. So where I've been right now, though, is I have been creating the workbook that goes along with the course. Meaning, how cool would it be if I created a course where there's a workbook side by side? So like, watch this video. Now answer the question in this workbook. Like, if you watch this video, you should be able to produce this output, right? And I'm helping you apply as I go. So anyway, it's been a lot of fun. What I've been doing the last little bit is I've been working with this graphic artist who's been, it was such an interesting exercise. I sat down and I drew out pictures that represented the principles that I was teaching. And it was more thorough on my side to go through it that way, but I think it'll also be more thorough for the individual who's listening to go through the course that way also, if it's, by pictures. I'm a kid at heart forever, and I'll totally stay that way, but it's been a lot of fun. I remember when I was in school, there were a few not a few times. There was a lot of times I went and I bought books that I just never used. I never did anything with. They were so technical. They were so intense. They were so far out there, or the teacher didn't even like them. It was just a requirement, And so what we did is we literally just, I would buy the book and it would just sit on my shelf. It'd collect dust. It did nothing. And I thought, gosh, I don't want this to be that way. My workbook, my course has got to be usable. So anyway, that's what I've been doing is I think I've mentioned this before on this podcast, but gosh, guys, if you can draw out pictures that represent your MLM, I know it might sound cheesy, but the whole napkin thing, drawing out a business plan on a napkin, there's some serious power to that. And I encourage you to go do that. Anyway, so that's what I've been working on. And the other thing I've been working on is my auto-closing system. I have a system that pulls people to me and vets them, so I know whether or not they're serious MLMers. So it doesn't just get the leads, it qualifies the leads. And now I've been building really the automated closing portion of this. It's slightly automated. I just know I could make it more automated, so that's what I've been building. And I choose to do it through what I call a webinar funnel. And what I do is I take... and if you've ever heard of webinars, that's probably not what you think. No one else does this. I've been making it up. And it seems to have been working. It is working, but I've been building the actual funnel that goes with it. And so what it does is page one, right? They land on, this is what secretmlmhacks.com is going to turn into soon, right? First, it'll be like a webinar registration page or a web class or a product demo or whatever you want to call it. And it'll be a webinar registration page. And they'll get a chance to sign up to see how I'm auto-recruiting people, right? And see the systems that I'm going through. The second page, after they actually register, with their email address and their phone number, the second page, I think it'll be kind of cool is if I tell my story on the thank you page. So I go through and I tell them, hey, here's the story of why I joined this MLM, And to me, I want to do it that way because most of the time, the scripts that my my MLM or my upline was giving me, they were so dry. The scripts they were giving me had to apply to so many walks of life that it ended up not applying to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Those are the times when somebody comes out and they just kind of blabber all over you, and you're like, I still have not figured out why you are in this. You know what I mean? Why are you asking me to be in this? I don't know why you're in it. And so I'm going to tell my story on the thank you page before they watch the webinar. And I think what it's going to do is it'll help people understand more. I think it'll help them bind to my personal attractive character. You know what I mean? Then the next thing that the sales funnel, the automatic closing system is going to do is I'm going to send out to them what's called an indoctrination series. I'm going to send 3 different pieces of information out to them that basically helps close people before they even show up to the webinar. That's like the biggest key with webinars. Webinars is what I teach in my actual job. It's one of the things that I do. So I thought, how cool would it be if I actually apply this to MLM? There's not many people that I've found that actually do it. There's a lot of people that I've found that teach it, but I want you to know that I do it, and my stuff has helped a lot of people. So anyway, I'm excited to do it because this is a part in an industry that I don't think has ever really had the stuff that I'm doing in this way before. It's totally new. It's not just an improvement on other stuff. Anyway, I'm excited. So anyways, then I'll go through the actual webinar itself, and then I've got really, really powerful follow-up and consumption series and all these different series that we use to sell other products and services that are proven, that I know work. I'm plugging them in, and I'm really, really excited, guys, because all these other little things that I've been putting out there and that I've been doing in other industries, I'm excited to rock it and put it together for the actual MLM stuff. So it's exciting. I don't know anyone else. Anyway, I've already said that. But so that's what I've been working on, though. So tons of workbook stuff, lots of automatic webinar funnel stuff, and that's all. Those are all things that obviously my team gets as well. That's kind of my deal with them. Is like, hey, if you join, I give you all my stuff that helps you auto recruit. But then, like anything that's kind of new, I'll give that to you also for free. But anyway, that's kind of my what's been going on. So that was a lot of talking, and I'm so sorry that I feel like I've just been blabbering, but that's where we've been. There's always the sexy part of what we do, and then there's the work part of it, and I'm in the middle of the work part of it, which is, it's just fun, but every once in a while it's not fun, and we just have to do it. So there's a great quote by I can't remember if it was Eisenhower or it's about Eisenhower, but it's a quote that says, "The obstacle is the way." And I want you to know how true that really is. If your biggest fear right now is talking to people, that's exactly what you should be doing the most of. If your biggest fear is trying to figure out how to close people, that closing is all you need to be concerned about. If your biggest fear is going and saying, you know what, I don't really understand what my MLM even does, it's time for you to go understand what your MLM does. The obstacle is the way. And that's the thing that I've been trying to convey with this workbook, that I had a hard time conveying a few things in this workbook. And so what I've been doing is drawing pictures. And guys, it took me 4 hours just to edit them, or just to edit the actual images once I got them back from the actual graphic person. It's another 3 hours just to edit them. He hasn't even made the changes yet. By me turning directly into the obstacle, it's an accelerant, guys. It's like throwing gas on the fire. If you don't know how to close people, it's time to do that. I hate talking on the phone. I hate it. And so I turned directly into it. It's not that I was going and talking on the phone. I still hate talking on the phone. I don't know why. I don't like it. But the obstacle is the way. And so I created systems to make me not have to talk to family, not have to talk to friends, not have to go out and do it the way my uplines tell me. That's not the only way to do it. There are other ways that's proven in other industries. I'm just grabbing from other industries and using them in the MLM space. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing that I'm hoping to convey after all the crap that I just said, which I hope has been helpful, even just a little bit. But of all the stuff that I've said, what I want is for you to understand that, like, yeah, we got the workbook going on, we're building out the funnel, like the rest of the stuff to actually help launch the course and all those different things. Like, I'm really, really excited for you guys to see what's been going on. But it's only by turning into obstacles that growth actually happens, sustainability actually happens. If you're like, hey, I don't know how to duplicate, that's where you need to go spend your time trying to figure out. And that's what I'm excited about, because I totally figured it out, which is awesome. That's why I'm putting the course together. But the obstacle is the way. Go figure it out. Don't, the last episode I talked about mental triggers. Don't, the mental triggers that are out there, right? They're not just there to actually make you recruit people. They're also there to help you act. Does that make sense? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go listen to the 9 mental triggers that make people take action. Go listen to the last episode. But anyway, that's the whole point of this episode, is I'm just trying to say, like, there's so much stuff going on right now. So much stuff. I barely slept last week, but I believe in what I'm doing. I know that it's going to work. It already has been. I'm just trying to systematize it so people who aren't as techie can figure it out. And it's just, there's a walk, kind of a walkthrough system and step-by-step guides and workbooks to help you implement and checks and balances, you know what I mean? And additional stuff and tools and things like that to make everyone successful with it, which I'm super excited to get out there and release and launch. But the obstacle is the way. Just like stencil that on your wall or something, staple it to your forehead, because it's such a different mindset than most people have. If you're in MLM, you have desire to be a leader. Just like bar none. That doesn't mean you are, and that's okay. But if you're like, hey, I don't feel like a leader at all, that's a great place to go, and it's not a negative thing. Find the obstacle, work on it, and move forward. One of my favorite quotes was by Buddha, actually. And he said, your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. And that's some of the things that a lot of people will start to battle as they get into the MLM space. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at that. People aren't understanding what I'm talking about. Oh, I got better draw pictures about it. I don't like talking on the phone. Let me create a system that does all that for me that gets the same outcome. You know what I mean? Turn into the obstacle. It's all about the obstacle. Tony Robbins talks about that. You turn straight into the pain. Don't skirt the pain. Don't try and get away. And you're not trying to be masochists, you're not trying to be like pain lovers, but you do need to be able to know and say, hey, you know what? It's okay that I don't get this, or it's okay that I'm not good at that. It's just time for me to go work on those things. So anyway, hopefully that's been helpful. Obstacle is the way, guys, and I will talk to you next episode. Hey, thanks for listening. Please remember to subscribe and leave feedback for me. Do you have a question you want answered live on the show? Go to secretmlmhacksradio.com to submit your question and download your free MLM Masters Pack.